Imagine wearing the uniform of Nazi Germany, while secretly protecting the very people that regime wanted to destroy. During World War II, one German officer did exactly that. His name was Karl Plagge. And this is the incredible story of how he used the Nazi system against itself to help Jewish families survive the Holocaust. Karl Plagge was a German army officer and engineer. He had once been a member of the Nazi Party, but he eventually became deeply uncomfortable with its ideology and left the party. In 1941, Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union and occupied Lithuania. Plagge was sent to Vilnius, where the city's large Jewish population was being systematically persecuted and murdered. Thousands were taken to places like Ponary and executed. But Plagge discovered a way to protect some of them. He was in charge of a German military repair unit called HKP 562, which needed workers. So Plagge began issuing work permits to Jewish people. On paper, these people were essential workers for the German military. In reality, the permits became their protection. Even when some workers were not actually essential, Plagge continued to employ them. And he went further. He argued that workers needed their wives and children nearby so they could work more effectively. This allowed entire families to stay together, and gave them protection from deportation and execution. By 1943, the Vilnius ghetto was being liquidated. Plagge managed to move more than 1,000 Jewish workers and their families into a separate forced labor camp connected to his unit. For many of them, this camp became a temporary refuge from the SS. But Plagge knew he could not protect them forever. In 1944, Germany was losing the war, and Soviet forces were approaching. The Nazis began preparing to retreat. The prisoners feared what would happen when the SS took control of the camp. Then Plagge gave them a warning. He carefully told them that another German security unit was coming and that they should be prepared for what was about to happen. He couldn't openly tell them, "The SS is coming to kill you." But the prisoners understood. They began hiding. Some found secret spaces inside the camp. Others escaped. When the SS arrived, approximately 250 people survived by hiding or escaping. Soon afterward, Soviet forces entered Vilnius. The Nazi occupation was over. But most of Vilnius's Jewish population had already been murdered. The survivors never forgot the German officer who had protected them. Karl Plagge returned to Germany after the war and died in 1957. For decades, his story remained largely unknown. Then survivors and their families began telling the world what he had done. In 2005, Yad Vashem officially recognized Karl Plagge as righteous among the nations, an honor given to non-Jews who risked themselves to save Jews during the Holocaust. Plagge could not stop the Holocaust. He could not save everyone. But he used whatever power he had to save the people he could. A work permit. A false military justification. A protected family. And finally, a warning at the moment when it mattered most. Karl Plagge wore the uniform of Nazi Germany. But when he was forced to choose between following a murderous system and protecting innocent people, he chose humanity.